Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In this video, as you can see, I am a level 50 Astrologian. So we're going to be going through the level 30 through 50 Astrologian quests. Like with Dark Knight Machinist, there's no base job, so there's no 1 to 30 quest line, which is good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in just a little bit. Alright, it's time to try out another healer. Astrologian. Oh boy, I'm kind of not looking forward to this. My skills with Astrologian are better than Scholar by far, but I don't use Astrologian a whole lot, so this will take some getting used to again. Greetings and welcome to the Namian Agilosium. Perhaps you were drawn by fate to this place of learning, or perhaps you wish to know more of the fate of fate itself. Sure. Sounds like an interesting topic. Then you were wise to come hither, for in the stars are written in the fates of every woman and man on Hydaelyn. I wasn't even paying attention to that text. It was there in the stars that I read a woman would call upon the atheist. I'm just gonna call it the atheum. This very day, a woman who would play an important role in my own life. But my apologies. Even the most skilled reader cannot scry a name from the heavens. Would you be so kind as to give me yours so I might know who might be my newest protege? Sure. Cecila. Well, I was not expecting that. But what is a name but an attempt by our begetters to wield power over the lives of their sons and daughters, lives whose paths have yet been foretold, in a sense that is. My name is, I'm just gonna call you Jane, D. Durandare, and I'm an Astrologian of the Holy See. Remember the name, for it shall echo forevermore in the annals of Ishgardian history. Well, it will once I put it there, once we put it there. Here's the thing with the Astrologian. Astrologian is getting me reworked in Endwalker. Right now, Astrologian is kind of like a Astrologian is kind of quirky right now, but in Endwalker, Astrologian is gonna be turning into just a straight healer like White Mage. I think Astrologian is kind of like the Barrier healer, kind of sort of like with Scholar, but that's being reworked. Sage will be the new Barrier healer for Endwalker, and Astrologian is being reworked as a pure healer. So it's interesting to see how drastically this job will change in Endwalker. Now, where to begin? I suppose I could consult my divine deck for an answer, but that would be too easy now, wouldn't it? Very well, at the beginning it is. Astrology, or the reading of the stars, is a branch of ethereological science which originated in distant Charlian. There have been astrologians in Ishgard for thousands of years, but it wasn't until 3 centuries ago when Audinal the Younger learned that the movement of the stars could also be used to foresee the movements of the Dravanian horde that the field became popular. Since then, what was once a single science of bifurcated into similar yet ultimately different schools of learning, the Charlian school of astrology and the Ishgardian school, the former placing a focus on tapping celestial ether and transforming it into beneficial magics, or astromancy, the latter specializing solely in determining the actions of our dragon enemies to the north. I am a student of the former, the only student of the former here in Ishgard, and have been actively seeking a partner with whom to conduct my research. Let's just say that my fellow Astrologians here have been less than approving of my path. But that's simply because they are afraid of what they do not know. Once they do know of how Charlian astrology can benefit the sea and its soldiers, they'll feel foolish for ever having doubted me. Us! You will be joining me, will you not? Walking the path that has been laid out before you instead of stubbornly denying your fate, postponing the inevitable? That's why I'm here. I see you wasting no time making a decision. Like I always say, the stars are never wrong. Alas, even a lifetime of study and training cannot unlock all the secrets. Written in the stars myself, I have been a student of the astromantic arts for more summers than I can count. I still often misread the signs shown to me in the skies. though my readings are far more accurate now than they were when I attended to the Atheum and Astrologian, not the Astrologian, mind you, a colony that once thrived in the Dravonian hinterlands. I can recall my time there like it was yesterday. The first 6 moons, I was not even allowed to touch the deck of 60, let alone conduct a reading with major arcana. Most of my time was spent in the scriptorium, transcribing old tomes on astrological fundamentals such as the 6 elemental houses, divine duplicity, class triplicity, house modality, and polarity, dignity versus detriment. I abhorred the task, and would tirelessly pester my instructors as to when I might actually be granted the opportunity to weave a spell or perform a reading. It wasn't until the end of the 6th moon that I realized all that transcribing had prepared me for the essentials that I would need to do those very things. Yeah, that sounds like a very arduous and boring task. The positions of the celestial bodies within the 6 elemental houses, and the relation to the major and minor arcana of this deck of 60, therein lie the secrets to tap in the ethereal power locked in the heavens. And soon you too will become privy to these secrets. But not this day. No. I would not have you transcribe musty old tomes like I was once forced to do. No, the task I have for you is much more interesting. You see, I am expecting the arrival of a very important guest. My old mentor from the studium has agreed to make the journey from the old world to Ishgard and speak with the Holy See regarding the implementation of Charlian astrological techniques in city-state defenses. Alas, the professor and his party are now fully 7 days late in arriving, and I have begun to worry for their safety. They're 7 days late in arriving, and now you're beginning to worry. I should be obliged, therefore, if you would inquire of the other astrologians here at the Atheum if they have heard aught. 7 days. Now you're doing something. My God. Why would Lord Jane think I had information on the whereabouts of a handful of unbelievers from across the blood-brine sea? I'm an astrologian, not a fortune teller. I cannot simply look to the stars and square the location of the Viscount's guests. Unless his guests are dragons, that is. I suppose if there is anyone who knew aught, it would be the observatorium. We here at the Atheum are but students dedicated to research. Those with any influence in our field are assigned to the astroscope. But you, let me guess, the good Lord Jane said he saw you in a vision and the stars told him that you were to study Charlian astrology with him. Am I close? You must be the 100th of his little pets to pest me this week alone. I harbor no ill will toward ignorant unbelievers unlucky enough to find themselves caught up in talk of stars and fortunes, but you may tell that sorry excuse of an astrologian for the umpteenth time that I have heard not concerning his imaginary friends from faraway Charlian. Just do not tell the advice guy I call him a sorry excuse for an astrologian, alright? Jeez. What about you? Jane was still waiting for word from his missing Charlians instead of actually making an effort to find them, is he? Of course he is. Is it any wonder that in nearly 15 years since his return from Charlian, his skill in astromancy has remained unchanged? Any wonder that he has never yet managed to convince a single peer of the value of the Charlian school? He is a privileged little sprat who spends more time gazing at the stars in young maidens' eyes than actually trying to read the ones above his head. Alright. You tell the poor man I just returned from the observatorium, and one night at the communal feasting hall I happened to overhear Chief Astrologian Forlemore speaking to one of his aides regarding Charlian. He was visibly upset, and I wasn't about to risk my career over something I care little about, so I merely put my head down and ate my beet soup. But that is all I know, and he did not hear it from me. Man, this is a tough crowd. Master Forlemore, and I thought this day could not get any worse. Oh no, I'm not suggesting that meeting you in any way was unfortunate. It was just that may not be in our best interest to be seen together as of yet. There are certain people in the sea who do not approve of my studies. Couple that with the fact that you're an outsider and an unbeliever, and, well, people may come to the wrong conclusions. We must act with caution until we can prove that our intentions are just and for the good of all Ishgard. So I must ask you to travel to the observatorium alone and meet me there. I guess that's understandable. All right, let's do it. It's fine. I didn't need a guide there anyway. All right. Let's check that out. I guess that's the astroscope, huh? Yeah, they don't need that anymore because the Dravanian horde has been quelled. Gotta go up and up and up and up. Cecil, well, allow me to apologize again for not accompanying you here. As for our business with the Chief Astrologian, you may leave the talking to me. Jane, I thought I might have known it would be you. Who else would be so indecent as to drag an outsider to this holy place of observatorium? You have always had an unhealthy obsession with the foreign, which is why you are as useless to the atheum now as you were when you returned from the heathen city of a decade and a half since. But the stars, they can serve us in other ways than merely revealing when the horde will attack. Their powers can be tapped. The ether within can be used for. The ether should be left be. Has history taught you not of the fall of the Nimians, the Amdapori, the Maki? Mine uncle, the Charlians, have been wielding us from astromancy for years without disrupting the ethereal balance. His power, combined with the Asgardian astrology, was what is needed to turn the tide of this 1,000-year conflict. Moreover, I have reason to believe that our masters at the Vault agree, as they have given me their blessing to continue my research. I did not come to trade barbs with you, Nuncle. Let's save that for another time. I'm here because it was come to my attention that you may have information to the whereabouts of Professor Mace and his party from Charlian. Someone who says he is not here to trade barbs, you have been quite generous in your dealing with them today. If it means you will leave and allow me to return to my work, then I'd be more than happy to let you know what information found its way to my desk just yesterday morning. Serpent Reaver sightings and foul weather prevented the professor's ship from entering the Strait of Murthor, where they would have made their way up the Maiden and into Corthus. After detouring around the South Vilbrand, they finally disembarked at Vesper Bay, where they took the land route along the Royal Allegan Sunway to the Black Shroud. It is there, it seems, they lost their way. A lost Astrologian! Ha! As my warning reading predicted, Dalamaz was in detriment in the House of the Spire while sitting over the ecliptic. Cecily, you must journey to this Black Shroud and assist Professor Mace. Allow me to introduce you to Quim. I'm just gonna call you Quim. He is my personal manservant and shall accompany you. Alright. He is not for conversation, but his sword arm is amongst the best in all the pillars. He should see you safe and if any danger were to befall you. And something tells me danger lurks on the horizon. It is a pleasure to serve you, milady. I shall make haste to Quarry Mill and await you there. Quarry Mill, huh? That's quite out of the way. I was expecting North Shroud, if any, over anything. Since Falgord Float is just right outside of Corthus. Milady, I have questioned the residents of this hamlet and learned that a party of queerly dressed outsiders passed through not but a bell ago. It should not prove overly difficult to find them now, but before we begin, might I ask a moment of your time? I will not dare utter ill of my master by his recent fixation of finding a protege. I find it ill-considered. This passion, however pure, has left him with more than one enemy within the astrological community. Lord Formord has seen to this. I fear not only for how his name might be sullied, but for his life. I beg of you, pray do not drag him any further down into this quagmire. Let him quietly dabble in his dream, but let it remain at that, a dream. No good will come of encouraging him, and will only hurt the Viscount and his family. You must remember that while I serve Lord Jane, it is his uncle, the Count, who employs me. Now, as for the task at hand, I suggest we find the wayward travelers and hurry back to our respective hearths. I shall lead. Might I ask that you take the rear and see that none might take us unawares? Got it. I'm a level 80 white mage. I got your back. Oh boy, what's going on here? These are the Charlians we seek, and it appears they found themselves in some trouble. Unhand my grandfather! Oh boy. Ah, feisty. We'll fetch a fine price for that one from the pleasure barge per captains. The soul has spoken. Grab the old man. These wizard types can carry on them all manner of begmed, bejemi, what kind of word is that? Baubles and golden trinkets. Up, or I'll toss you to the snakes. You want to see the old man again? You leave us the girl. Try anything, and he's dead. Great. Wait! Grandfather's soul crystal. Why would it leave it here, surrendering any power he might have had to free himself from those bandits? Unless you were the one he saw in his dreams before we left the old world. But that was more than a moon ago. My grandfather scried from the cards that he would serve as a bridge for countless souls to be passed to another. Might you be that other? These men of the forests are careless. Tracking them will be no difficult feat. I shall follow and strike before they have time to regroup in numbers. The stars have spoken and laid their path not before you, but before the adventurer here. Another stone for my collection. You must take the soul of the Astrologian and place it near your heart. Listen to the tales of those who walk before you and know their journeys as you do your own. As for the tools you require and the knowledge needed to wield them, I, Leveva, shall, I'm just calling you Lev, shall see to those matters. You saw there was no fear in my grandfather's eyes when the bandits took him. This is because he has seen you come to his rescue. Our lives are written in the stars long before we trod upon this land. It is not by chance that you stand here today with the soul of the Astrologian in your hand. It is fate. Good. Astrologian's unlocked. Alright, wonderful. I did not want to search for the soul, I wanted to equip it. Oh, I have to actually equip this first, don't I? Oh, goody goody. Why do I not have gloves? Oh, because why don't I have gloves? Excuse me, I have my gloves. That doesn't matter. I guess it does matter. Do I have any gloves? Let me see. I don't know why I do not have any gloves. Did I toss them out by accident? It doesn't matter. Once I get to level 35, it won't make a difference. Alright. Cool. Let me make this a gear slot. There we go. Good. Wonderful. Everything's a fucking mess. Now listen carefully, for we haven't much time. The star globe which you hold is both your sword and shield. It will grant you strength as well as protection, but most of all, it will grant you an insight into the current location of the stars, enabling you to channel the heaven's ether into your body for use in all manner of magics. The better attuned you become with the heavens and their malefic and benefic bodies, the better that ether might be manipulated to bring succor or pain. But as you already know, the star globe is not the only tool an astromancer has at her disposal. Yes, the arcana, or more specifically the 6 major arcana, play a defining role in what type of astrologian you will become. Any layman will tell you that the cards can predict a man's future. This is both true and untrue. It is not the future that a card predicts, but the card influencing the man so that a certain future becomes more attainable. Seeking to tell a man's fortune, you draw a card from your deck. Upon reading the card, you scribe that the man will be victorious in a coming battle, while what it is that brings this man his victory, and either tap from one of the lower 6 heavens, granting this man strength, making it all that much easier for him to overcome his enemy. Of course, what card is drawn is linked directly to a target's destiny, as well as yours. Are you the one who will see this man to fortune, or will you lead him to downfall? It all depends on your reading. Normally, I would not dare to cover it so much as in the first lesson, but it is my grandfather who has placed his life in your hands, and I'm not about to watch him have his throat slit, because you cannot tell the face of an arcana form from its back. We have 2 seemingly capable soldiers here to take the brunt of the bandit's blows. Allow them to carve a trail of carnage while you convince the stars to nudge the 2 in a direction favorable to my kin. I understand this must be a lot to digest, but if you were ever to become a capable astrologian, you must believe in the path laid out before you, and in your power to read it, follow it, and ultimately control it. Take some time to acclimate yourself to your new abilities, and let me know when you're ready. I'm ready to go. First of all, before I do anything, let me swap these out, because these are important to have. I will fix my hotbar later. Where is my hotbar anyway? Okay. I see in your eyes that you're ready. Whether that actually makes you ready or not, only time will tell. Time, unfortunately, is something we no longer have in abundance. Let us take the shouts and find out where these bandits are holding my grandfather. May stars be our guide. Alright, cool. Wonderful. This will be fun. My hotbar isn't... Don't let these bandits stand in the way of us locating my grandfather. Alright. This is a card from my grandfather's deck. He's leaving us a trail to follow. Cecil, its power is now your own. Yoink. There are 6 major arcana. We must find the other cards. Alright, I think that would sounds like that would be an easy task. Get rid of this healer. I'll have to refresh, remember what each card does. There's the arrow. What a dick. The card is mine. Alright. 2 cards down, 4 to go. Well, actually, don't I already have 3 already? You don't see me. Don't see me. Thanks for the card. Alright, let's get this guy out. That one should be the last one, maybe? Yeah, I knew that Trent was gonna aggro me. I did not want the bat, I wanted the Trent. God damn it, I tried to cancel him yet. I thought this lady's not helping me. Alright, that card's mine. Aha, there's the last one. Throw down your weapons, Kerr. You have no choice but to release the professor or meet the same fate as your men. No choice, eh? What if our choice all along was to cross blades, houseboy? Alright. Voidson! Spanner is more than she appears. I'm not scared of that. Make sure this guy's healed up so it don't mess us up again. Tunnel vision. I gotta work out my DPS skills so I can actually target the tank and DPS. What you think? I was not told there would be 2 Astrologians. Enough of this. I'm Quim, an employer of Lord Jane. I'm sent to escort you back to Ishgard. Are you unhurt, my lord? Jane, you say? And where is my former student? His constant pestering is one of the reasons I agreed to make the long trip from the old world. I see none but Quim and this adventurer. I too have seen no other. Just like you didn't see those bandits until their knives were up our asses. That is of no matter. It was all but the star, all as the 4 star. Oh my god, I can't read. I'm just gonna skip that. Yes, I saw this adventure long before even setting foot on this accursed continent. The Arcana whispered and told me that I would find a worthy successor for my soul crystal. And having witnessed how she eased into her new role, but mere moments after taking up the crystal, globe, and deck, yes, I knew at once my reading was true, and that this adventurer was the astrologian I had been seeking. But now, let us see if she has the potential for greatness within her. What am I gonna do? Look to the sky, Cecila, and there you will see 6 stars aglow in pale yellow. This is the bowl. This constellation is thought to be the gate to the first heaven, the heaven which holds the world tree, planted by the matron and nurtured by the keeper. A world tree is the source from which all life is said to have sprung. The trunk of the world tree, or the bowl, grants strength to the weak, allowing them to stand firm in face of adversity. You now open that gate, and its powers is yours to command. A solid bowl represents a solid foundation. It is not coincident that this very constellation is risen to mid-heaven at this very moment, the moment of a new astrologian's birth. And to think, I saw all this a moon ago. It seems I am a better reader of fates than I thought. Ha! But I jest. It's been a long journey with more than its share of unexpected excitement. I am an old man, and one does not need a deck of arcana to see that my weary legs will not carry me much longer. Let's make haste to Ishgard, so I may give that ungrateful Jane a proper upbraiding. Oh Lord. So I looked into the cards. Cards are a lot more standardized. Basically, bowl and as you can see, Spire and Bull are melee tanks. Spire and Ewer are ranged and healers. Astrologian has gone under a lot of changes over the last few expansions. Not as much as Machinist has gone under, but it's had several changes to them, and it's gonna get changed even more in Endwalker. How this class is going to play as an Endwalker, you know, it's yet to be seen. Might play completely different once Endwalker comes out, so that'll be interesting. Hey Jane, I found your mentor. Jane, 15 summers passed and it's still the flippant clod I lost half my hair tutoring. Seeing an adventurer to find the man you summoned halfway across Heidelin. Always taking the easy route, and you wonder why you still haven't been able to open the second Heaven's Gate. Allow me to apologize. Allow me to explain, Professor. You see, I was waiting here in case you made it to Ishgard before my manservant Cecil could locate you. Think of the confusion had you arrived here only to find the Athenaeum empty. Wait, how did you know I haven't opened all the gates? My grandfather is the greatest astrologian Astrologian. There is not he doesn't know unless he doesn't wish to know it. You of all people should know that. Perhaps I was hasty in my decision to remain here and see to your training. Train me? You? But what about Professor Mace? Isn't that the why he made the journey? My grandfather has already completed his task. He simply came to Ishgard out in courtesy to an old pupil, one who it appears he wasted years on. Huh. Wasted? What are you implying, my lady? Ah, my dear Lev, you still do not see it, do you? Without Jane stumbling into my tutelage nearly 2 decades ago, he never would have taken this adventure under his wing and sent her to us in his stead. It was all as the stars had planned. Your soul crystal, Professor! This adventure has stolen your soul, Astrologian! Ha! You're really unobservant, Jane. If this adventure had stolen my crystal, Lev would have read of some terrible fate for the lass. No. Cecil is my successor, something I mistakenly thought you might be. But even I cannot see every future, it seems. But do not despair. I have not given up on you completely. Despite your failings, you have tried your best to promote the Charlottean School of Astrology here in this den of fools who failed to see all beyond the Dragon Star. I wish to see you continue that fight, and that is why I have bade Lev to remain here and further your endless adventurous training. I see. This is all rather overwhelming. Might I have some time to consider your words? No. You either continue your training with me and your protege, or you crawl back into obscurity. I shall give you both several turns of the sun to study the basics of Charlottean astrology. It should not be so hard for you, Jane, considering you've had a substantial head start. Once you have committed the basic to memory, then return here. In the meantime, I will be traveling at yours here, searching for locations where Cecil and you will unlock the remaining Heaven's Gates. But you were only recently set up upon bandits. Perhaps traveling alone so soon is unwise. Don't you think I know that? That is why you will be lending me the services of your able manservant, Quim. I will? I will. Yes, of course, Lady Lev. Anything for the granddaughter of Charlotte's finest professor of astrology. Quim, you heard the lady. Very good. Now I shall see my grandfather to the airship landing. But before we depart, let me see how teach you of the Durnal sect, which so you may learn to wield the power of the stars which are aligned with the sun. Why couldn't they just take an airship before? Why do they have to go by boat? I don't understand this. If you took an airship before, you wouldn't have this problem. Nice. Yep, I know. I get it. Alright. That's the level 30 quest. So, I will be back when I'm level 35. Alright, we are level 35. Oh, Jane! I'm ready for my next task. Hanging in the balance? Greetings, Cecil. The stars tell me you've been rigorously following Leve's training regimen. Though I harbor doubts that go out and do things while I trapeze about the realm constitutes a regimen. Still, she is all we have, so I suppose we have to make do. And as the stars would have it, she has just sent word that she is ready for us to attempt the opening of the second Heaven's Gate. You are aware of the 7 heavens, are you not? Just as there are 7 realms of the underworld, so too are there 7 realms of the firmament. Each of the first 6 represent one of the basic elements: earth, ice, water, wind, lightning, and fire. The seventh and final heaven representing the element's astral polarity. The first 6 heavens are represented by the 6 constellations which each revolve around the pole star. Astrologians of the Astrologian school draw on the ether contained in the celestial bodies represented in the constellations by unlocking or opening the gate to heaven that constellation is correlated with. There is no actual gate. Think of it as more of a portal to the soul. You're opening your mind, allowing for attunement with these distant bodies, much like one attunes with an aetherite, but on a far grander scale. Now, this may come as a revelation, but Hydaelyn is not flat like most believe. It is, in fact, a sphere so large when we walk upon it, it only appears to be flat. Because it is a sphere, there are some locations better suited than others for observing certain constellations. This is what Lev is doing right now, finding a location in which the next heaven's gate will rise to a position directly in mid-heaven, where it will be the easiest to attune with, and it seems she has found one, near the final prayer at Eastern Thanalan. Is this one of those things where people think the Earth, like the Earth is flat? Really? Alright, where the frick is the final prayer at? Oh, it's way down there, huh? Like Camp Drybone? Alright. Oh. My Astrologian glamour, much like Scholar, is kind of in limbo right now because my healer glamour, I can't use the chest piece until I'm level 60. So I'm kind of making use of armor that I never really ended up using. As much as I like the Auri gown, the shoulder bits on that is not. I don't like the shoulder bits. It's too wide. It looks like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe it. It's like your head and your neck is inside a bowl. It's like you have a bowl around your neck. That's pretty much how it's pretty much how I sum it up. What's happened here? Here at last, I see. Bandits have kept poor Quinn busy harrying our camp since we arrived. I do believe the old man enjoys the excitement, however. I'm certain it beats wiping the arse of a noble brat whoring away his uncle's fortune while dreaming of becoming a real astrologian. I am very capable of wiping my own arse, thank you very much. And Quinn has never once complained of his duties. Of course he hasn't. Your uncle pays him to smile and nod, and I'm sure a comfortable position in the pillars beats chasing after cloud rats in the brum to flavor his soup. Are we here to trade banter, my lady, or because I was led to believe we'd be unlocking the celestial gate? You will find Quinn has many good uses, and I haven't the faintest of doubt that he'll most ably handle any ruffians who happen to come stumbling about looking for prey. Now, Cecilla and Jane, we must be patient and wait for the constellation to reach its highest and brightest point, a point at which its flow of ether is the strongest in relation to Hydaelyn. Okay. So we're gonna wait in the middle of the day? Alright. Guess we're making camp here. With these dead bodies and fireflies. I guess the fireflies make the atmosphere nice. There, Cecil, the balance. Focus on the constellation and attune to its power. Ooh. The balance represents the heaven on fire, a realm made prosperous by the blessing of the traders, but at the same time, one whose equilibrium is maintained by the divine judgment of Azima, the warden. Azima's might will empower those who would take up their blades and mete divine punishment, divine punishment in the name of the sun goddess. Ooh. And thus has the balance burn crimson in your heart, unlocking the gate to the second heaven. This guy couldn't do that. This seems like such a simple task. Now let us speed ourselves to the next location. Little Alamigo. Why so soon, you ask? Would you rather that I had you commit yourself to another several moons of using malefics to put down hedge moles? I thought not. Huh. Nice. And it's miraculously daytime again. Alright, little amigo. Let's go. I'm putting the image up because they have an active chat going. Oh. Alright, we gotta go this way. On the other side, El Amigo. Be patient, Tesla. Allow the stars to make their ascent to mid-heaven. Once they have, survey the skies and let the power run through you. Alright. Seems like a simple task. Raise your eyes to the stars and witness the violet glow of the spire. In the third heaven rises an iron tower with spinning gears and taut springs constructed by the builder himself. It is a citadel without seats by the jealous Ralger, but the destroyer's might, 11 bolts, only serve to power the spire's clockwork soul. It is through the blessings of both creation and destruction that strength is granted to she who sees her stars rise upon the sign, or under the sign. You have now opened the gate, and its powers are yours to command. Oh, it's a trippy little image. Using the arcana to draw upon the powers of the stars they represent. This path we walk as astrologians is called the Royal Road. It can be treacherous and fraught with peril, but it can lead men and women to greatness. Alright, what's the next one I gotta go for? Damn, another cutscene. Your realm is quite the paradox. On one hand, it's full of life, magic, and wonder, one of the richest lands on all Heidelin. On the other, it is literally brimming over with strife. You have no idea. Take little Amigo. The wretched souls displaced from their homes by the flames of war, or Ishgard, mired in its own pointless conflict with an enemy so old it does not even remember why it fights. The foolish believe that it is their fate to suffer, and so they turn their gaze away from the stars, when those self-same stars have the power to show that people there are many paths. But that power can only be channeled by the few, those like me and you, and to a lesser extent, Jane. But it is our duty to use that power to benefit those who remain lost and misguided. Remember that, and maybe one day you'll truly become my grandfather's successor. You didn't even help me in the intro quest at all, you just stood there and waved. That is exactly what I've been trying to tell the Astrologians of my home nation. Why disregard something that has the power to grant succor to the wounded, the power to uplift the downtrodden, to strengthen the weak? The answer to that is easy. Empowering those without power lessens the power of those who already have it. Heal the weak so they might rise up and topple those who made them weak? Why would anyone in a position of power to do that? And even our great nation is learning is corrupted by this manner of thought. We hoard our knowledge so that we might remain the brightest. Yeah, and you stay out of other people's conflict, letting everyone else suffer. Why do you think it took so long for Professor Mace to visit you, Jane? Yes, I know what he told you, but that was not the whole of it. Those of the ruling quarter did their damnedest to stand in the way of my grandfather, worried that his passion for his field would kindle widespread interest in Shadowbringers and astrology. They only allowed him to his recent trip, knowing he was now too old to do aught of the sort. Fortunately, the ruling quarter did not realize I would be accompanying my grandfather. Cecila, these past turns of the sun have been most fruitful, yet while you have opened half the 7 gates, there is still much of what we like to refer to as the Royal Road ahead of you. Take what you have learned here in the southern deserts and transform that knowledge into strength. If you wish to know more of the Royal Road, I suggest you discuss it with Jane back in Ishgard. If my grandfather is to be believed, his time transcribing tongues back at the study in the scriptorium should have left him more than capable of handling that task. I know how Astrologian works. They're assholes. Look what's happening right now. They don't want to. They don't even want to help us because they want to preserve their way. All right. You wish to know more of the Royal Road? I seem to recall it had something to do with reassessing the attribution of an arcanum before reading it, which would result in a slight alteration of predestination. Or perhaps it had something to do with the kings and queens on the minor arcana. It was over a decade ago. Oh, you're very helpful. Thanks. Thanks, that tells me a lot. Prick. I think you're supposed to be the smart one here. Alright. I'll be back when we are level 40. Okay, level 40. Jane, how have you been doing with your studies? I've been doing really well, if you ask me. Okay, let's see what she has. Are you doing well, Tesla? Well then, at least makes two of us. Can I keep such important news from you, Cecila? Lady Leve and Quim, just last night they fell victim to another ambush of the Hens and Bandits. The ever-resourceful Quim has proved invaluable, worth once again with a dashing display of chivalry that would shame any knight in the sea. A statement that attests to the sorry state of our knights, but what that is a chat we can have over a different cup of tea. When Lady Leve attempted to retire to her room at that filthy inn in the Brum, I had our solely disused second floor cleared and furnished with the trappings from my own home. She is up there now and asked to see you the moment you arrived. Alright. The sounds might be a little toned down. I messed with the sound settings a little bit. So, I'm trying to find a good, medium. I probably should have messed with the sounds a long time ago, but now I am. Okay, what's going on up here? Wait, you don't seem all that surprised to see me here. Did Jane tell you of the attack? Damn the fool! And after I told him to keep his mouth shut. Although I suppose I must bear some of the fault for ever thinking he could do that as he was told. Now, I suppose you're wondering why I summoned you here to these makeshift chambers. And no, it is not to do with the bandit attacks. It appears are much more common in your realm than I thought. There are times when the heavens may provide you with a vision of the future that is slightly beyond your original aim. In these cases, the stars are not flawed, only out of order. So by shuffling the card back into the deck, we are in no way ignoring or denying a future, merely postponing a reading intended for a later date, and replacing it with something that better pertains to the present. I trust that you will pick up this technique swifter than Jane. Oh, good redraw. Wonderful. Ugh. Oh, good, my controller's dying. Wonderful. Are you ready, my pupil? The gate to the fourth heaven waits. However, the location I've chosen for attunement will not remain the most optimal for long. You are to travel with Jane, and I will make the journey with Quim. There are no objections? Good. You didn't even tell me where I'm going! Where am I going? If it is Lady Leve you speak, she was just left with Quim for Limsa and Laminsa. If you make haste, you may still be able to catch them at the airship landing. Me? As much as I'd like to indulge myself on the pillows of Rotana pleasure barges, there's a congress to be held in the vault, and other prominent houses have been summoned. My presence at such an event would be sorely missed, so I fear this next lesson must needs proceed without me. I'm certain the Lady Leve will understand. I can always open the third gate another day. Or was it the 4th? 3rd or 4th? It is of no matter. The star certainly will not be going anywhere. Well, someone's shirking in his training. Going down there, huh? Alright. Let's do it. Quim! My buddy, my pal. The lady Levy is missing. It disembarked the airship together, but became separated in the chaos of the landing. Seeing as how the lady has found herself the victim of abandonment attacks twice since arriving in Eorzea, I fear she may be targeted once again, especially considering the location. This is my first time setting foot in Limsa, but I have been able to I'm made aware of its landmarks. Might I suggest we search independently so that we might cover more ground? I shall start with several of the seemingly more disreputable locations, such as the Drowning Wench, the Astrologian, and the Missing Member. Will Milady be so kind as to search Fisherman's Bottom and the Coral Tower? Let us be at the 7th stage once our survey is complete. This lady! Alright. Hey, the cab! Lass! 20-odd summers since I spilled from me ma's gloins, and once I ever heard of the word Astrologian. Now, in the span of the 2 bloody bells, I gone and met myself with not one, but an honest-to-goodness pair of live star goppers. Didn't see where that other fair-skinned lass buckered off to. Ones as that, though, oft end up on the pleasure barges, if you catch me drift. Thanks, Vic. Thanks, Keb. You're very useful. Aren't you guys supposed to be like the, the big surveyors of Limsa? Where am I going? Coral Tower? Probably Yath Castle, right? No? Where am I going? Oh, the Marauders. Rainer! Another Astrologian? How odd. It's not often that even our city-state known for its diversity welcomes a single reader of the stars through its gates, let alone 2. And in the same day, no less. Yes, I took a few moments from my duty to speak with her about the city-state. She seemed quite interested in our dealings with the Sahagin, the Serpent Reavers, and the Garlean Empire. I told her what I could, but she left it only after a few moments. It was as if she thought she was being pursued, but the Charlene was gone before I could assign her a yellow jacket escort. Great. Wonderful. Down below, maybe? Do people not recognize me? I feel they don't recognize me, even though I've clearly done I've been a part of their guilds. Do you recognize me? I seen me a stuffy lass in rum garb poking her lovely head in holes where it weren't wanted. 'Tis rare we get one so worldly down in the gurgling belly of the tower. I had to halt train to work out what the fuss was about. The maid inquired as to where she might find herself a nip or two of some of the strong stuff, so I pointed her to the direction of our resident apothecary, Carvalane, over at the 7th stage. Oh, ain't that convenient, because I gotta go there anyway. Alright. Where am I supposed to go? Where the hell's the 7th stage at? Where? Oh, down there. Carvalane! Lady Cecil, I bear good tidings. The Lady Leve is scheduled to return here within the Manor of Bells. It seems she entered a contract with Carvalane for the purchase of several of the apothecary's wares. An interesting girl, that one. Very rarely do we see young maidens walk the Limited streets without escort. and almost never do they come to me seeking, spice. Still, she did appear quite uneasy, as if being watched or followed. Suspicions, I must say, not uncommon in our fair city. Might she be in some manner of trouble? Those few who agreed to speak with me at the Drowning Wench and the Missing Member claim the same. My short stay at the Astrologia bore no fruit whatsoever. What were you able to find, milady? Well, the thing is, she's being followed, from my suspicions. I see, so we have ascertained that the lady is being followed, and that she is aware of the fact. If that is the case, I believe she will attempt to move somewhere where she will be in plain sight of as many people as possible. I doubt that will help in this town. Kidnappings and killings are conducted in broad daylight here, and when they happen, most people just keep their heads down so as to not have them removed from their shoulders. Well, damn this town! Milady, I shall set out once more and try to locate Lady Leve. There's a chance she may return here on her own, so I ask that you remain in case she does. If she has not arrived at the rendezvous point by the time of our scheduled meeting with Carvalane, we shall both go to the one location that is most popular after the sun falls in Limsa, the Drowning Wench. There's a thing. Slings and arrows! It appears that your companion is tied up. Not literally, I hope. Perhaps you should head to the wench to see if she is there, like your friend believes. Though I fear that if she did not make it that far, you may never find her again. At least, not alive. Worry not, my starry-eyed friend. If by chance you were to arrive here after your departure, you have my word that no harm shall come to her while she remains behind the Seven Sages' doors. Great. Wonderful. Oh. Alright. Where the hell is Leve at? What the hell is she doing? A woman in black? What's wrong with the woman standing before you? Thanks, lady. You did not help at all. What about you, good sir? I might have seen me last skirting off to the High Line. What the hell is that? I don't know. What about this guy? Will someone not save me? What happened to you? Oh! You're not the Leve I'm looking for. You brave knight in shiny armor, come on. You're not the Leve I'm looking for. Lady, the area is filled with imposters who seek to keep us occupied with her. Well, alright. Let's be quick! That there are those who would attempt to stall us must mean the lady still eludes them. Follow me. I fear she may not be able to remain hidden for much longer. Where are you going? There's a dead end down here. Cecil, you must hurry to save Lady Leve. Alright, and get some tasks going down here. Maybe. Okay, there's nothing over here. Guess that's Lady Leve. Imposter! Like moths to the flame. Celia will be pleased when I bring her back to your wings. Another imposter. Ifrit's fiery pissed. Just how many of these rogues are there? Okay, we're going down here now, huh? Uh-oh, there's two of them arguing. Which one is Lady Leve? I is Lady Leve. Have you even to ask, Quim? Lady Cecil, I cannot trust my own eyes. Which one is the true Leve? You. Quite clever of you, Cecil, to discern which of us was the imposter. Man, the person said your name wrong. Lady Leve, stay behind me. Evil still lurks. I was bothered. I thought she was one of us. Nope. Lady Leve, you have my apologies. It was my fault that I allowed us to become separated. Do not blame yourself, Quim. I sensed danger at the landing and it was my instinct to run, as I ever have. I forgot that I could trust you. Unfortunately, by the time I realized such, there was no sign of you, so I did what I could do to blend in, choosing crowded places, speaking with as many locals as possible, though all the while feeling that there were unseen eyes watching me every move. By the time I realized that my pursuers were simply leading me away from you, the night had already fallen, giving them a perfect opportunity to strike. It was then that I witnessed several of the bandits had disguised themselves in garb similar to mine. I assumed this was to confuse the three. Two of you still searching for me. It was then I conceived the idea to play the part of an imposter myself. Why hide in the shadows when you can hide in the plain sight? That was quite brilliant of you, Lady Leve. May I ask, were you at any time able to discern who these pursuers were? The amount of effort put into your capture would suggest they are more than mere pirates looking to sell you to slavers. Unfortunately, no. And I wasn't about to walk up and ask them who they were or who had hired them. But all that is behind us now. Let's see if we can salvage something from this horrible night. The fourth gate stands nearby, Cecila. Shall we not see it made yours? To the anchor yard! Oh, sure. Wonderful. Oh, look who it is. Well, I'll be a barnacle on a kraken's arse if it ain't the star-gopping lassie come to scry us our fortunes. Tell us, which one of you'll be dying first like? The beat red knight with a carpenter's codpiece, or the stern-faced venture on her high hobby horse? You don't even know who I am. God damn it, how many pirates are in this forsaken hell? A lot. There's no end to them. What is it you want from me then? Coin? Is that it? Here, you can have all I can carry. How kind of you, though it ain't your purse we was hired to snatch. Tis you, milady, but we'll make sure your coin makes its way into deserving hands, since... Alright. All the coin in the world is not worth losing my life over. Farewell, my lady. Where are you going? You won't get away this time. There'll be enough time for questions once you've torn the throats out. Quinn, more pirates approach. Night Watch reported a pair of mages flinging magic down at the yard. That'd be you two. Did you hear the clamor all the way down to the bottom? Right? Oh, look, Kevin Braun finally returned. Well met, my new friends. Your assistance is most timely. Being assisted by my buddies Kevin Braunbar. Oh, I'm about to die. Not afraid of your carbuncle? A manservant and a maid. That's all I was told. Worked up quite the thirst I have. If you find yourself beset, okay. And they're off before I can even finish their text. Alright, lass, what's your problem? I like how they just run off. Uh-oh. Carbuncle! Oh, got destroyed. Huh. Lay down them weapons or I'll cut the old man a new gree under his chin. I cannot believe that actually worked. Nor can I, but then again, never have I fought someone so credulous. Now, let us do this as they say in the Fear Babes. You step over here, I let the man go. Easy peasy. Wait, I know you. You're the bandit leader who attacked Lady Leve's grandfather in the Black Shroud. Someone has good memory for being on in years. Well then, this changes everything. First off, I can finally drop this annoying pirate accent, and secondly, I suppose I can simply kill you now rather than after pretending to let you go once the lady has drawn close enough. Great, wonderful. Stop right there. Unhand that man or I'll have your head tarred and on the prow of a galley by Cockrow. First maniacal marauders, then feline fishers, now a commodore of the Swiven Thalsocratic Navy. How many more gods is this machine going to drop on me? Until next time, Lady Leve. She just jumped over the edge. You have my apologies. I was a fool to fall for the bandit's trick. Amazing. In all my years, that was the first time I've ever seen that feigning death trick actually work. But now is not a moment to be dwelling on our many failings. I have a dastard to apprehend. You'll be surprised how often people run after being told to stop right there. Huh. You better get going then. Lady Leve, that pirate. She was the same bandit who... Yes, I know. And that changes little, for I still have no idea who she may be or who she may be working for. There is naught we can do now until the Commodore brings the woman to justice, or until she decides to attack us again. What we can do is what we came here for. Cecil's training. Good lord. Now look to the stars and behold the arrow. The fourth heaven, or the heaven of winds, was created atop a lofty peak of Oskon, the wanderer, whose footsteps have been guided by the navigator. The wind that blows off Limlaeon's seas guides the arrow fast and true, and so it shall deliver the weary souls of those trapped in the mirror of confusion, indecision, and over-contemplation. Ooh. The fourth heaven has opened its gates, allowing you to access it to its sacred Pentralia. From this day forth, its power is yours to interpret and wield. Sweet. That power will further aid you as you continue to hone your skills. Now, let us return to Ishgard. I have a few words for a certain student of mine who felt inclined to forego this particular lesson. Huh. Sweet. All right. Yeah, I could really use Jane's help. This guy's slacking. Cecily might have had the decency to warn me that Lady Leve was in the mood with me for not joining you. She seemed to think that I was to blame for your misadventures. I mean, you kind of bailed on us. I could have used your help, buddy. Even though it probably wouldn't have amounted to much. Now, why would that be? It's not as if my being there would have prevented the bandits from attempting to abduct Leve. These being the same bandits who attacked you in the Black Shroud, which is, by the way, is another location I was not at. This is something far beyond our control. Of course it is. You could have actually been there, you know? It's not that difficult. And furthermore, it's not as if I was merely sipping cordials and waltzing around with baronets. I was helping further our cause. I spoke with several high-ranking cardinals about Lady Leve being granted the opportunity to speak at the vault regarding Shadowbringers astrology. What do you think of that? I was politely turned down, of course, but it is a gesture. The gesture that will one day lead to another gesture, which will one day lead to a head inclined slightly in the general direction of another gesture. Little steps, my protege. Little steps. Okay, you do your little steps and your gestures, while I go off and level up more. So I'll be back when I'm level 45. Alright, we're at level 45. So, Jane, how have your lessons been going, buddy? My lessons have been going great. Are you still lagging behind? I think you are. Oh gosh. Greetings, your timing, my friend, is impeccable, for it just so happens that at this very moment I have need of your assistance. While our lovely Lady Leve has been out making herself a target for every cutthroat and cur in the realm, I have been focusing my efforts on our main objective. Training? Pah! There'll be enough time for training later. No, I speak of our ultimate goal of spreading knowledge of the Astrologian school of astrology throughout the Holy See. As you know, the Vault recently turned down my request to allow Lady Leve to speak before them, but I am not one to be turned away so easily. No, I have a plan. I will entreat Chief Astrologian Formort to draw up an official recommendation. The Vault not so quickly dismissed the words of a man of such standing. Yes, I know Uncle loathes me with the passion rarely seen even in young lovers. And there's really no reason why he would aid our cause, being a staunch opponent of change and all. But that does not mean we can't try. And if we fail, and then we can try again. We can try again and again and again until he is so annoyed that he writes us the recommendation simply to see us out of his stunning hair. And by we, I mean you. Considering how red the Chief Astrologian became the last time I visited him, I reason it would be detrimental to mine uncle's health should I arrive at his place of research. And most certainly would not want him to fall ill or collapse before he penned us that recommendation. Man! Alright. I see how things are going. Oh, Honestly, I don't care about your astrology nonsense. I just want to be an astrologian. I don't care about Ishgar's astrology and whatnot. But if I must. Oh man. I don't think this guy's gonna appreciate us coming back. Alright, well, let's see his reaction. Who do I see to serve me in this fine morning but Jane's new scullery maid? I suppose you came here for this. Oh, he already had it ready. Jane never ceases to amaze, does he? Not only does the loud have the nerve to ask me for aid, but he then refuses to do me the common courtesy of accepting that aid in person. Everything entitled little shit, more worried about his popularity amongst the fairer sex than how his actions disgrace his family's name. Ah, the slackjaw. I suppose you're wondering why in the world I, of all people, would agree to such nonsense. Well, it is simple. Allowing the heathen Astrologian to dig her own grave in front of the entire vault and the Ishgardian Astrologian community will only serve to accomplish what I wished from the very start. Astrologian astrology has no place in Ishgard. It has no place in Eorzea. It has no place in this world. It is dangerous and it serves no purpose but to take our eyes off what is truly important. Using astrology to free us from the dragon menace and ensure man's return to Halone's kingdom. Leve's dithering will only make it that much clearer. And Jane, perhaps this will finally spell his downfall. He has only been allowed to continue this nonsense because he is harmless. Too caught up in the luxury of being in line to Count de Darendare's title to actually put forth any real effort in furthering his cause. Charlatan astrology is but an oddity which he can boast about at balls to get him in bed with the slartny maids of lower houses. His father has protected him thus far by allowing him and this lady to speak. There will be no brushing under the rug of the shame this brings forth. Jane will be finished. Man, all these guys are ruthless. I hate to be caught up on this kind of family affair. Well, I kind of already am, but you know what I mean. This is a tough crowd. This is a tough family to deal with. Oh, Lord. Inform me right away when Chief Astrologian informed us denying my request for a letter of recommendation. Soon I might begin to work on our next request. Is this? It cannot be. It is. The seal is Formal's. How did you? What did you say? Or what did he say? No. Wait. Mayhap it is better that I do not know. Yeah, you're right. It's better that you don't know. Well, this changes everything. I'll have to arrange another meeting with the vault. Summon the cardinals to Durndare Manor. We'll need wine and sparrow-stuffed pheasants, and pheasant-stuffed goose, and goose-stuffed chocobo, and bards. A whole troop. Not to eat, of course. No, I fear I will no longer be able to join you on Lady Leve's next opening on the gates. Do give her my regards, though, when you see her in Mordona. My God, you're absolutely useless. I think you're the most useless guild leader I've ever had to deal with so far. I can see why his mentor pretty much gave up on him. All right. Uh-oh, what's going on here? For once we were not at the bandits' targets. We came across this young woman as she was being dragged into the hills. Though we drove her abductors away, I suspect they have already mustered their courage for a second attack. It's a good thing you arrived when you did. The girl claims she's a student of the Atheum, and recently overheard Jane mention we would be conducting another gate opening in Mordona. She journeyed here on her own in hopes of having the chance to witness our astromancy firsthand. I say we give her something to remember. I do. I agree. Let's do it. Wait, was that a Ishgard Knight? Oh no. I'll attend to the woman's hurts. Eustace Quim. Alright. Get these guys out of the way. There's more! Send in the hungry! They're merely bandits of these cannot see things. Alright. They cannot see things. They are unaware of the tragic fate which is destined to befall them. We must reveal it to them in blood. Oh. Ruthless. Oh well. Aren't you supposed to be healing her? What are you doing? Didn't see this coming now, did you? Rise, slave, tear and rise, slave, and tear the bastard's limb from limb. And one of those things, huh? Hate to say it, but I kind of did. I've already seen your tricks before. Oh, you'll pay for that. I'm sorry, but I had no choice. Die! Oh, this is a different guy. This is someone different. Yeah, my apologies, Lady Leve. I did not think... Your only fault was an insatiable thirst for knowledge. A realm where one must apologize for being a victim is no realm worth living in. But why would those men attack me? I believe it is now quite obvious that these bandits were not meant for you, but for me. It would seem that certain parties fear the spread of Astrologian astrology, and will stop at naught to prevent it. My Astrologian constellation chart, the bandits, it must have been torn when they seized it. Here, you may take mine. I have the stars committed to memory. Ooh. I don't know how I'll ever be able to, but I will think of something. Just you wait. I'll repay this kindness tenfold. Lady Leve, you mentioned something about certain parties wanting to prevent the spread of Astrologian astrology. Have you any idea who they might be? I do, but I shall require more proof before I can be certain. You and Cecil should be able to assist me with that. However, as they say, first things first, we have a gate to open. Alright. Let's gaze up into the sun, or the sunset. The starry sky! Someone's calling me, but I'm not answering the phone. For one thing, I'm not near my phone and I don't feel like getting up right now. There, the Ewer! Focus, Tesla! Focus and let the constellations either twine with your own. Okay. It is said through the fifth heaven flows a mighty river carrying the water spilled forth from the scholar's vessel. And in the water is the strength of all that have come before, and all who will follow. Thou spun from Nimia's bloom, thou from which might and metal is weaved. And now the power of the Ewer is forever yours, and forever shall it point you to victory. Cool. While I cannot forgive our patron for skipping yet another of his lessons, I cannot deny that the passion hidden deep beneath all his posturing may have its uses. Word of our field is spreading, and our inherent nature has begun to stir. Curiosity is proving the better motivator than skepticism and faith. Our time may come soon. Hey, at least he's doing something. He's not totally useless. Sort of. Alright. Back to Ishgard! Ugh. There are your hiccups. Jane! Do not tell me. Lady Leve was attacked again. I knew it, and without a reading. Our talents grow by the day. What is this you claim? A fellow astrologian was moved by my words and went to witness in the unlocking? That is amazing. I wonder who it could be, though. I would certainly recall speaking in detail with the young supple mind. Must find this woman and hold another special lesson with her. Lesson? Oh, that reminds me, Lady Levy asked me to teach you a new technique before you head to open the Heaven's Gate, which you may have already gone and done. But it appears you are able to overcome your ordeal without it. Yes, exactly according to my lesson plan. You still wish to teach me the technique? Very well then, though I do not see the point. Give me that point! Give me that technique, buddy! You gotta hold on to me, at least you can do something for me. Okay. Oh, this guy is so useless. Maybe he'll be useless when we come back as a level 50 Astrologian. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, we are level 50. Finally. It's the last battle job before I start leveling my gatherers. Woo! Oh my god. I'll make my closing arguments when I'm actually done. Jane! What is my final task? I'm ready to move on to bigger and better things. Lady Leve tells me that you are nearly ready to open this sixth and final gate. Yes, I said final. We all know there are 7 heavens, but opening the 7th is impossible. Well, except upon death, of course. An attempt to attune to the pole star would be sheer madness and most certainly spell your doom. Ah, but look at me, even now attempting to tutor the great Cecila when it is obvious your talent far surpasses mine. Forgive me. Whose fault is that? I mean, you haven't done anything, this whole quest line. Lady Leve is yet to depart for the location of the final gate. Doubtless she fears yet another bandit attack, but whatever the reason, she remains on the 2nd floor and has asked that you visit her at your earliest convenience. Alright. You've come far since the fateful day our paths first crossed in the Black Shroud, and now here we are on the cusp of your attunement with the 6th heaven. Time surely waits for no woman, does it? Before we set forth on this task, I wish to teach you of a second set of stars, the Nocturnal Sect. The Nocturnal Sect contains those celestial bodies ruled by the 2 moons. I say 2 because since the dawn of astrology, our disciples of our field have used Dalamud in their readings. Now, even after the false moon's fall, its position or should I say, its absence, yet has influence over our fates. Whereas the sun and the diurnal stars represent the self-expression and the active, and the moon and the nocturnal stars represent the unconscious, the passive, Dalamud represents this and still does represent the uncontrollable. Its power has the ability to quicken the senses as well as provide added protection from the unknown. Things beneficial when pursuing one's fate. Thanks. I didn't understand a word he just said, but good on you. I'll thumbs up to you. Sweet. Alright. Now that you have knowledge of the second sect, I believe you're ready to attune with the final constellation. The location of the next lesson is actually not far. I assume your travels are taken to Camp Dragonhead? Excellent. I, as always, will go ahead to make my final readings. If each of your previous outings are any indication, the bandits may wish Harriers will most certainly jump at this opportunity. So to have Quim scout the area ahead of time and report any suspicious activity to the knights garrisoned at the camp. Let someone else bloody their hands for a change, I say. Feel free to tell Jane of our plans, though I do not doubt he already has some of his own. Probably just sit back. More behind the table nonsense. Lady Levy has already departed. Well, then she must have leaped from the window, for I did not see her use the front door. I dare say that means we'll be traveling alone. Of course I'll be attending. Why wouldn't I be? Oh, he's actually doing stuff. Oh, it's amazing. Is he actually going to be of any use to me? Well, that remains to be seen. Maybe he'll actually do something. This guy is the most useless guild master I've ever had to deal with. I should plug the image up because it looks like people are starting to get on. Boop! Oh. I say that, then I go into an instance. Sessa and Jane? Well then, it appears my giving my constellation map to the Astrologian in Rothfrost was unwise, as my readings for the location of the second heaven have proven slightly off. However, a second calculation has shown that we are close. The actual location lies just to the north of here in a derelict tower known as the Steel Vigil. You the look of the learned about you. Might I ask if you've seen this star map before? It was on the person of an astrologian who came to us seeking help after being attacked. Again? I like how they just popped out of nowhere. Like, what? That is my map. The one I give to the astrologian in Wrathfrost. Do you mean to tell me she was upset upon again? Your map? Well, then I'm gonna have to ask you to accompany me for questioning. The astrologian claims she wrested this chart from one of her assailants before escaping their grasp. Lady Levy, why would you assault the self-same woman you risked your life saving? Because she did not, my lord. Why would you even think something so foolish? This must be some sort of a misunderstanding. I was present at the assault. We saved the young maiden of which you speak from a party of bandits, and Lady Levy gave her own constellation map to replace the one damaged by her assailants. My Lady Sessa here was also witness to these proceedings. Well, we have our own witnesses who say otherwise, so until we have a trial and an adjudicator who can pass his judgment, this Levy will have to come in for questioning, for she herself has admitted the map is hers. It is alright. I have not to hide. An arguing hero would not bring us any closer to the truth. If anything, I wish to confront this woman who would bring false accusations against those who saved her life. Very well, then. Take me where you will. I shall answer all your questions, and you'll soon learn who is spouting falsehoods. My friends, you need not worry over much, for I shall be in the company of temple knights where no harm might befall me. I'll return once I have proven my innocence. Sure. I believe that. Where the hell are they going? That is not that's like Sword Steel Vigil. Oh, I recognize that little mark on her cheek. No harm quotha. That knight was the self-same astrologian whom we saved in Mordona. The astrologian who now claims we attacked her. I seen the astrologian was a temple knight? No. Listen, my lord. I'm saying the Astrologian is no more an Astrologian than she is a knight. I'm saying we have been played. We've fallen victim to a ruse that has landed Lady Levy in the hands of those who have been attempting to kill her since she set foot in Eorzea. Then, you're saying she won't be safe in the presence of those temple knights. My god, this guy is so daft! Those weren't temple knights, my lord. However, they were wearing the colors of our knights most heavenly, and if we were to assault them this near the heavily garrisoned Camp Dragonhead, we would be stuck full of arrows before anyone asked us why we even drew our blades. No, we must shadow Lady Levy's captors and wait for an opportunity to take her back. How exciting! Can I take point? No? Of course not. Now let's not. Let me do it. Or Quim. Yes, I say we keep our distance until an opportunity to rescue Levy presents itself. And I say that as I've been saying, and I say that is what I have been saying all along. Now, might I ask that you keep your voice down, my lord, or will it not matter how much, or will not matter how much we conceal her. I mean, we're not very concealed. We're just slowly falling behind. We're just gonna walk slower. I mean, I can do that, but all right. How far do we gotta go? I guess we're still in full view of it, aren't we? He's going off. Our imposter Astrologian has left the company to see to those ogres. Let's take her unawares. Very good. Cecily, you may follow. I was wondering when you show your faces. Alright, one knight down. One false knight down. Oh, is that the same knight that is as I thought? This woman is the same one who we assisted in Mordona. And I do not believe she was working alone. Let's continue our pursuit. Are you alright, sir? What the fuck? I should not. Alright. It's fortunate for us that we are not on foot. If they were to make it to say an airship, we would have means of keeping up. Is that an airship right here? Great! You just had to jinx us, didn't you? I think we're far enough from Camp Dragon, don't you think? No? Probably not. Cannot wait for stragglers. File in. Let's kill this guy. Oh, shit. Sorry, Jane. Or Quim. I thought it was dead. I heard something, sir. This guy's not gonna see us, not gonna see us. Really? Can I kill him? Nope. You ain't going nowhere. You're dead. All right. Well, they move quick. Who's this guy? Oh, this guy's got narrow sunglasses. Just as I expected. These fools have led me straight to the answers I've sought since my arrival in this backwoods realm. Now, if I'm not mistaken, my trusted companion should be arriving right about now. Now, I'll be taking this. The moment you lift off in that airship, the whole land will know you're not a true Temple Knights, and you'll be made to answer for your crimes. Once we are in the air, it will not matter what anyone knows, you fool. We will not be returning once we have slain you and your friends. No one shall stand in the way of my fate, especially not some dog's body of the Forum. Oh. Okay, so we're dealing with someone with the Forum. Alright. I'm not going back to Charlian. Quinn, as your command, milady. The situation is dire, Cecila. We cannot let them take Lady Leve. Well, obviously. And this guy is as good as dead. Give me that. Oh, of course I knew the Temple Knights were false. I recognized the Astrologian we saved almost immediately, and I find it insulting that they believed I would not. I also knew that they would lead me to the true perpetrators if I played along, fully aware that you, Lord of 30, would follow. And I am pleased that you also knew that we would somehow crawl our way out of that little tussle with our lives, because I was uncertain for most of the journey. Well, I was certain Cecil would make it. The stars have already told me she would unlock the 6th gate here at the Steel Vigil, the very location we ended up, despite our unexpected ordeal. Your fate, Jane, well, I never bothered reading it, for I thought you would skip to this lesson like you have every other one. It's the moon! Shadowbringers! Oh, or Endwalker, I should say, not Shadowbringers. Cecila, gaze upon the night sky and open your soul to the final constellation, the Spear! The spear is the gate to the 6th heaven, where the Fury resides in a palace of ice carved by her own spear. Ice formed of moonbeams collected by the lover Menfina. The spirit fills us not only with the power to overcome our enemies, but also the compassion that is necessary to grant those same enemies mercy. And now that power is yours, to see directed to those whose fates require it. Cool. It is done. You have attuned yourself to the 6 lower heavens, and now that you know their strength, the true journey begins. Nice. You have my congratulations, Tesla. What has taken me more than 15 summers to accomplish, you have done, and more in a matter of moons. Well, I can see why it would take you so long. You didn't do anything. You just stuck behind a counter and just stayed in meetings. But our time together has taught me that, despite that what we may believe they are, we all have our roles, and each role is just as important as the other. Without taking both Quim and you under my wing, we would never have saved Leve from her assailants. Meaning, in a way, I saved Lady Leve. Not that I want to take all the credit for such heroism. Well, excuse me! I did all the work! I guess he did kind of direct us onto the path anyway. Nor shall I take credit for this missive that never would have been discovered for it not for me taking you and Quim under my wing. Ah, that cold stare! It befits this godforsaken place. Point taken. Let's break the seal and see what we... Why, this handwriting. I've seen it many a time before. It is mine uncle's. What that would mean... It would mean the highest-ranking astrologian in all Ishgard has been attempting to assassinate us. If the tribunal were to hear of this, he would be hanged. And a hanging will only earn us another ill-tempered orthodox astrologian unwilling to open his eyes to the benefits of our discipline. No, we can use this missive to our advantage. As long as this remains in our hands, so too does the chief astrologian. Are you saying we use this missive to blackmail for Mort? I'm saying we merely grant the chief astrologian his life in exchange for a little assistance in furthering our just and noble cause. No more, no less. I see. You're quite the devilist, my dear. Very well, I'll summon my uncle to the astroscope. There we can present him with our offer. I should put the image up. Time to go confront this guy. I knew I didn't like this guy from the start. This guy gave me nothing but attitude ever since I first met him. All the way back in the realm of Born. Oh, Lord. Alright, guy. Let's hear your story. Why must you insist on pestering me, Jane? I gave you your letter, now leave me be. But that would maybe not be the only letter you have written lately, would it? Perhaps you recall a certain letter to the forum? A letter carried by a party of less than savory characters who attempted to kidnap Lady Leve and deliver her to Charlians. Not to mention kill me, my manservant, and my good friend Cecily here. You who you may have forgotten, is currently an honored guest of House Four Toms. A letter drawn up and signed by none other than you, Nuncle. Oh, but do not presume to misunderstand us. We wish to neither your disgrace nor your death, at least not at our hands. In fact, we wish very little from you. Not, you might say, in the sense that you're to never again use your influence to hamper our efforts at spreading Australian astrology here in Ishgard. Involve yourself no more in the affairs of me or my guests, and your secret remains safe. I'll even forgive you for trying to have me murdered, if, that is, you give me your word. It's not as if you've let me with no much choice. You have my word, but know that silencing me will not make your nonsense any more accepted in the vault. There are others who will see you fall, others who care little whether or not I speak my piece. We're fully aware of the peaks we have left to scale. However, we should not let that discourage us. I have been shown a path I together plan on walking, and the stars shall guide my way. The stars foretell many things, my dear, and not even the best readers can see them all. Do not forget this. Yeah. So we have silenced him, but to hear him tell it, he was the least of our worries. Which is why we must strengthen our own bonds so that we might stand united in our cause. Synastry, to use a term taught to me by my grandfather. By temporarily enjoining your fate with that of a companion, they will reap the star's benefit as you do. Master this technique, and the hold our enemies have over us will surely weaken. Nice. Oh, it's kind of a cliffhanger ending, kind of sort of like there was with Machinist and, well, I guess Machinist and Dark Knight didn't really have cliffhanger endings, but this one definitely does, kind of sort of. But, oh well, that is a level 50 quest. And with that, we are done with the battle classes for the time being. So, going forward from here, I'm going to be shifting over to the Gatherers. So, I'm going to be starting with Fisher first, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, either Botanist or Miner. Then once the Gatherers are done, once those three are level 50, I will move over to the Crafters and get those level 50. And once all those are level to 50, then we can continue leveling the battle classes. I think I'm gonna, with going forward with the battle classes from 50 to 80, I might do it differently now, rather than doing, well, I guess I can save that discussion for later. I'm still thinking about how I want to do it, because I might change up how I do the jobs, either to continue doing what I do, doing every quest as I level up, or get to a certain threshold, then do all the quests through New Game Plus or whatever. So I'm still trying to think how I'm gonna handle going forward from 50 to 80. Once I make my decision, though, I'll let you know. I probably won't make it. I'll probably mention it again once I've finished up my crafters. My controller's had enough too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next part. Later.